And too, at the Heart of Marriage retreat, I saw that there's actually a party with a DJ during the events, Mel.
Yes. Yes, there is for the grown folk.
For the grown folk. But you know, I thought it was interesting. We were talking while we were away about the fact that, yes, there are a lot of older couples, long married couples. How long have you, Angelique, and Max been married?
19 years.
I remember when you all got married.
Okay.
Oh, my Lord. So, you know, you've got long weds, and then you've got young people who are newlyweds. So that's, I think, important to mention to people that, you know, it's not just one, it's not for people who are in trouble.
Right.
It's for people who just want to keep the zing there.
That's right.
And then it doesn't matter how long you've been married, because you can always learn how to make it better.
You know, there was a lady in my church last year that gave to a newlywed couple as the wedding gift a Heart of Marriage
That's a great idea.
That's a
That's
wonderful
a great
idea.
Yes.
We're going to place that thought out there. If you're looking for that unusual wedding gift, then you can also give them the Heart of Marriage retreat gift. And how do you find about that? Well, go to www.heartofmarriageretreat.com. I'm going to be posting that information on the KISS Facebook page, so you'll know how to find it and give someone a gift, or maybe give yourself a gift. Now, we were talking about marriage and communication, but I understand through your research you've learned that the number one stressor for marriages that are in trouble or marriages that are fine is money, finances. What's that all about, Renee?
Well, just like the old adage that opposites attract, a lot of time in marriage you'll have a saver married to a spender, you know. So that's
Why are you laughing, Angelique?
Because Max always says I'm a spender.
And so that is built-in stress, you know, where you have one person that's more freely interested in spending money and one who's more frugal and thinking about planning and really wanting to hold on to every last, you know, dollar. So it's finding that compromise, you know, that you want to enjoy life and use some of the money, but you do need to have a budget. You do need to have a financial plan. Another thing that I've found is that in marriages you have a lot of financial infidelity. And
financial infidelity?
Financial infidelity is when you're spending money and you withhold it from your spouse.
Right.
So it may be, ladies, you know, you go shopping and you leave those shopping bags in the trunk of the car.
People actually do that.
They
Not
do.
me, but yeah.
Sneak them in under cover of night, and then, you know, put that the new clothes in the middle of the old, and say, oh, this old thing, you know, and guys do the same thing, you know, the Home Depot, the electronics. So that financial infidelity where I have some financial things going on and I'm not honest with my spouse about them.
So
and of
wait
course,
a minute, can you get around that? But like my husband and I are on each other's account, and we both have access to each other's account. So I hear a lot of couples saying, well, I have my account and he has his account, but we don't share accounts.
well, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Some couples share their account completely. Some couples have his, hers, and ours, you know, where we have a joint account, and that's perfectly fine. And then I have my account where I can spend the money as I choose, and he has his. So it's really just that they have an agreement. It's not so much about how they handle the accounts, but it's just being honest about how we're utilizing money. And if we come to some agreements, we're not going to use credit cards. Then maintaining that agreement, you know, if we're going to stay within a budget that we've agreed upon together, that we both really are faithful to that budget as much as possible.
Now that's kind of hard for some people to do, because I've never heard of this spending infidelity, but I think about what my mother used to do, was, you know, she had her own separate savings account. And then, because she always made more money than my stepfather, you know, if there was an argument, and this is a horrible thing to say, and that's why she was married many times, was, I pay the cost to be the boss.
All right.
So what do you do in situations where the wife is the main breadwinner, but we talk about submissiveness with the husband being the leader?
Well, I think for us, Renee has always been the major breadwinner, and I'm okay with that. The issue is that there are times when we forget about the fact that in Scripture it talks about the man being the spiritual leader. I have a responsibility to be the spiritual leader of the house. It does not mean I have to make more money than my wife, because we have a tendency as men to talk about, okay, women, you need to submit. Why it says wives submit. But Paul spends the bulk of the time in Ephesians 5 challenging men. Men, love your wives as Christ loved the church, sacrificially, to present her faultless and blameless before God. It's a lot easier for a wife to come alongside a husband if she is being led by a man who is sacrificing himself for her. So I think we have to, as men, not get that confused. I don't have to make the most money. And you have to really check yourself and see, okay, what am I insecure about? It's our money and however you've worked it out. But we also have to remember this. Money can be an indicator of a deeper issue. When Renee talked about the financial infidelity, it has to do with you broke trust. We had some agreements. It's not about the money. It's about, we said we were going to do this, and you were hiding something, and now you're sneaking around, and now you're doing this to cover this. Oh, don't worry about that little debit thing. I just bought a little throw rug or whatever. And you do those kinds of things. That's what it is, and that's a communication issue. And you start focusing on the facts of you bought this or bought that, as opposed to the feelings of, no, you hurt me because we had an agreement and you broke trust.
And you have to learn how to be able to say that.
That's right.
So that the other person doesn't feel attacked.
That's right.
Okay, we got a whole lot more to talk about. Now, here's some of the other topics we got coming up. So don't go away. Intimacy versus sex. Pleasures of the night. Steps to a healthy marriage. And dating your spouse after the wedding.
Amen.
That's coming up after the break. You're listening to Kiss 104, Atlanta's best R&B and throwbacks.
Check. 9. Tom Joy.